It's the first of the month.
Yeah.
One nation under the gun.
Under the wall.
Yeah. One nation under the gun. Wake up. It's the first of the month.
Yeah.
Hope in my pocket, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaves. Word to the preacher. Tell him the victory's already won. Call the collector, scrumming my funds. One nation under the gun. Scratching and surviving. Stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free. I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free.
Moving low key and dodging the fit. Yeah. Scars on my heart, but the gold's in my head. From the Bay to LA, I'm carrying the weight. They love you and hate you, that's how they gon' play. 1600 with the powers of flex. Writing my story, no edits, no stress. Been on the block, all I know is the snakes. They plotting on my moves and they raising the stakes. Hopes in my vein, but the system's a maze. Every step that I take and it feels like a haze. Stretching my blessing, trying to dub, but my win. Lost some homies in the game, now I'm praying for them. They taxing my soul, but I'ma keep it real. Saw my name on the dotted line, blood on the deal. From the block to the White House, dodging all these traps. Got my city on my back, put my pain in the rap. Now I'm back on the grind and I'm running up the score. They thought I fall off, now I'm kicking down the door. Got the money in the pocket and the smoke in the air. Every move that I make them stop instead. 1600 where the power resides. Speaking my truth, let it light up the sky. Free my dog, let the preacher say grace. Every scar on my soul is a story to trace.
Wake up.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy President's Day. Welcome back to the kingdom. Hope you all are enjoying your day. Go ahead and tap the screen, share the live. Peace and love. Unite the troops. Thank you.
They make is part of the deal. Got hope on the chest and the weight on my back. In the land of the free and the chains on my back. They watching my steps, trying to box my glove.
Yeah.
Keep my eyes on
The haters do that. The haters try to box my glove.
I'm speaking my pain, every bar, every word. From the town to the Ave, I'm repping my roots. Turn my losses into lessons, now I'm flipping that truth. Preacher said it's done, but the war's still alive. I'm the king of my fate. Watch you thrive and survive. I'm walking through the fire where the vipers hide.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. No good morning to you.
Open the grip and the system device, making all these moves, yeah, rolling like a dice. Now I'm stretching my vision, trying to break through the lies. See the pain in the city, hear the streets when it cry. Texting my dream, trying to dim my light, but my heart told the mission, let it burn all night. From the block to the Ave, I'm the voice of the lost. Pay the price for my freedom, never counting the cost. Preacher said that we won, but the battle's my own. In the land of the snakes, I'm building.
Good morning. Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the first of the month. Hope in my pocket, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaves. Word to the preacher, tell him the victory's already won.
Yeah, R.I.P. attacking, yes.
One nation,
very sad. But we'll continue to fight in his honor. Hey, good morning, Tara. Yes.
I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this show started. We don't got much time to cook and book. You know what we do on this show. Good morning, Rick. Nice to see ya. Alrighty.
It's like I'm stuck in time.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. You really can't. You really can't escape this.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks.
I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
Welcome.
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass.
Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas.
They hate when I talk like that. That's Rizzler talk though.
Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it.
This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous.
The algorithm turned me to a maniac.
I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. They always say that.
I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. And if they is my ex, that mean they left me.
Oh,
they don't get me pumped.
You know we love that.
I say it with my chest cause I'm
Happy Monday, honestly.
got a lot of confidence and I'm
All right, here's the part that always gets me going, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the part. Here you go, Zeus haters right here. Listen to them.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's
It's a
last
lie.
couple of days.
They're watching now.
It was radical.
Ma'am, keep it clean. Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like,
He's
Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Give me a break.
It's like deja vu.
They always,
It's like deja vu.
they never have anything.
It's like deja vu.
They've never had anything nice to say about me, right?
Deja vu.
All right, but welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're back in the Thunderdome. All right, and we're back to do the work that it takes, honestly, to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of supporters out here who, I don't know if you've been paying attention to it lately, but he's losing a lot of support, right? And so I want to give all of you who've been a part of this journey a huge round of applause because it's really through your hard work, through just so much talking. We have to have some very difficult conversations with a lot of these Trump supporters, but we do it day in and day out, especially on shows like this. And what we're doing is, you could just see it in his poll numbers, right? His poll numbers right now, they're saying, and I show this, Joe Biden is doing way better. Even though Biden hasn't been in office for over a year, he's polling way better than Donald Trump is. And that would only be possible. That's only possible, I should say, because of all of you out there. All right, seriously. Now, before we get started, let's take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you tuning in, this might be your very first time on a platform like this, and we're building it up all, because we're gonna start moving in a little bit of a different direction, because we've basically obliterated the MAGA demon, right? And so we understand on this show, MAGA is in full panic mode. We understand they are in retreat mode, yeah. And so what we're gonna do is we hold them accountable, by telling the truth and debunking all of their lies and misinformation. And you say, well, who are you to do that? Well, that's a great question. If this is your first time tuning in and you've never heard of me, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because of what? Honest. You got to be honest with the American people, right? We're really honest on this show with the American people. And if you're not being honest, we'll figure you out and we'll smoke you out and we'll make you apologize, all right? Or we got tools to deal with that, right? So the first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. The second H is because I am humble. If I get it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize, because honestly, I've learned over the years, it takes a real strong person, and I got to be strong, right? But it takes a real strong person to admit that they're wrong. And when you know that everybody walking the face of the earth is a human being, and you don't even leave yourself an option to apologize, it's just it's treason as far as I'm concerned. And it's really why we're in the situation we're in, actually, as a country, right? So the second H is because I'm humble. I'm the most humble person on social media. And then there's the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which is arguably one of the most important H's of them all. And you say, well, what is that? Well, if you haven't noticed, it is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Anyone disagree with that? Because if you do disagree with that, please send me a guest request. And we can take care of some real important kingdom business right away. Anyone think they're more handsome than Big Zeus? Yeah, send me a guest request. And what I do with that is this. I prove to people that it's just not left versus right. It's all about right versus wrong, okay? And so you have a lot of folks, especially on the left, but you know what? I'm working on them because I'm a patient person. But there's a lot of people on the left that think they're more handsome than me. Please, ladies and gentlemen, do not believe them. They are liars. I'm being honest with you, right? And so don't believe them, all right? And so with that being said, let me move on into the next part of the show. Is there anybody out there still supporting Donald Trump? Is there anybody out there still supporting Donald Trump? You know what bothers me? I ask this question all the time, right? And many of you who've been following me, I've asked, I don't even know why I ask anymore. I think it's almost like driving a stick shift or riding a bike. I just do it. But I know, and it's insane, right? Because, none of them will ever come up here on this show and say the things that they have said to me on other people's platforms. But I know they're over here screen recording me, screen recording us, because they've never seen so much honesty, so much love like what we do on this show. And so I just got to ask you, why screen record us? Why hide in the shadows, MAGA? Right? If you really are winning, you remember your dear leader said you're going to win on everything. Do I have that clip, ladies and gentlemen? Remember when your dear leader said this? Hold on, let me see if I can find it, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you're really, really winning,
you're going to be so proud of your country if I get in. You're going to be so proud of your president, and I don't care about that. but you are going to be so proud of your country because we're going to turn it around and we're going to start winning again. We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with health care and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win so much.
So, this is going to be, I might have to ask this question to the Trump voters. Why do you continue to hide on social media? We know who you are, and we know where you're at. Why? Is it because you're ashamed of where you've taken this country? Is it because the truth is out there and you've been rightfully exposed for what you are? You know what I say on the show, and MAGA hates it. They hate when I say this. If you're a Trump voter still, especially now, there's a couple of things that we already know about you, and you don't even have, I was arguing with this MAGA demon yesterday. I was on my good friend Angie's live. Prove to me, Zeus, that I am racist. Your actions say it. A lot of Trump voters think they're better than women. All right, right? A lot of Trump voters think they're better than people of color. It's obvious by the way you just carry yourselves. You don't even listen to us. You don't respect us. You always want to overtalk us. So the proof is in the pudding, right? But I've always said this about MAGA. If you're MAGA, you're a misogynist and you're racist, hands down. You go a little further to the right, we get you into that sedition territory because we all know what you did on January 6th. You can try to package it up in a bow tie and say, oh, it was a peaceful protest. Who organized a peaceful protest for all of you? Nancy Pelosi? Give me a break. Give us a break, all right? And then so you get to the right, you're in sedition, and you go a little bit you go a lot further to the right. You end up where we're at right now as a nation. Guardians, you know what GOP stands for? Guardians of P3DOs. I can't even say it on TikTok, but you know what a P3DO is. MAGA, we know what you represent. But you don't come onto this show and defend those positions anymore because you're afraid of facing judgment. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you're a Trump supporter and you don't want to face judgment by me, you know what? Zeus is a god, right? If you don't want to face judgment by Big Zeus, then leave my platform because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you in here. I promise you it will. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. How about this? How about this? How about you listen to your leader? All right, I got something for you for your leader. This is what he says.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed, and I've given every single one of you Trump supporters the opportunity to leave. Now, somebody in the comment section, Bob Polachek, you said, and you represent yourself as a god, Zeus. Isn't that a god? Yeah, that is a god. But Bob, do you have a problem? I invited you up here. You seem like a Trump voter. Why don't you come on up here real quick? Because my question to you is this. Why should I spare you? Why should we forgive you, Bob, when you've done what you've done to this great country of ours, Bob? Let me ask the audience, does anyone think we should forgive MAGA? It's not up to me, Bob. I run a pretty fair platform. But does anyone think we should forgive Bob or any Trump voters for what they've done to this once great country of ours? You see that? And they say I'm the cult leader. I'm not the cult leader. I'm not a cult leader. I am simply the voice of millions of Americans. I'm just one of thousands of millions of voices, honestly. Thank you, W, to the chat. So listen up, Bob, since you didn't want to come up here, Bob, and I don't really want to belabor the issue anymore. How about this? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send Bob back to where he came from. Well, Zeus, who are you to say that? You're not a god. You can't do anything. Well, Bob, watch this. I am actually, and I'm going to judge you rightfully so. And we're going to send Bob together on this show, ladies and gentlemen, straight to hell. So listen up, Bob. This is what I call the warming up part, right? We're warming up the lake of fire for you, all right? And so far, you're the only one that has identified yourself in the comments section that I can see. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure. Join me in sending Bob, who lied on this show. And what is the rule on this show? If you lie, you must fry. Join me in sending Bob straight to hell. No, I'm not. Yeah.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
That's a huge W, Zeus. Hey, D-Man. D-Man, I can't even bring you up. I'm not scared of having a conversation, D-Man. And it's not... I don't do debates. I really don't. I mean, if you're looking for a debate, you could go hang out with other people. What I do is I have good old-fashioned common sense discussions, right? And I let the people decide. That's all I do, because I already know that you will never be honest on this show. You'll never be an honest person. And everything you're going to get up here and start talking about, as soon as I start asking MAGA very, very tough questions, they'll start talking about what? Who does MAGA bring up, ladies and gentlemen, every time they get in a jam? Who do they bring up, ladies and gentlemen? D-Man, I can't... Send me a request, D-Man. We'll get this out of the way. It won't take long. It's President's Day, D-Man. It won't take long. W to the chat, Biden. You see that, D-Man? And here, D-Man. They since you wanted it, D-Man, I'm going to give it to you. We're going to go ahead and get this out of the way for you, D-Man, so you don't got to get up here and sing it. We already got it. All right? This is... All right, D-Man, we know what you're going to do, right? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and sing it real quick. We won't do the whole thing, but this is what you're going to do.
Yeah, what about Biden?
Right?
Oh, what about Biden? Stole the whole election night.
There he stole the election.
Yeah, that ain't right. What about Biden? Borders wide
this?
open, let them flood it. Millions crossing, drugs pouring.
Hey.
Where we begin?
What about Biden?
Gas prices sky, inflation wild. Economy dying, can't feed your child. What about Biden? Afghanistan mess left them behind.
Right this night. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind. What about Biden? You see that, D-Man? D-Man, I don't think you know how to use TikTok, so I'm done with you, all right? Maz, do you see D-Man in the guest request? I don't see him. D-Man, go get your main account, because I can't see you in the guest request. I don't know what you're sending. Seriously. Let me see. Oh, actually, I can see it. All right, let's go. Okay, I got you, bro.
No, I'm right here. Yo, hey, what's going on, Juice? Love to see you spewing the CNN talking points.
Now, listen up. Before you get started, a couple things. One.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here for discussion.
Are you okay with not cursing on the show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Secondly,
definitely won't.
Are you okay with people in the audience totally despising you and hating your guts because you might lie and say something inappropriate? Are you okay with that? Because I don't.
I'm cool with that.
I gotta ask these rules because I'm a nice person, but sometimes I bring up other people who aren't so nice, and they will say things in a way that's way more direct and blunt. And what I don't want you to do is start crying on my show. Fair enough?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be very direct with them too as well.
Okay, fair enough. But for right now, it's just you and I. All right. So you already said that I was lying about something. I'm curious. What do you think I was lying about?
Oh, you were lying about me bringing up Biden. I really don't care about Biden. You know, those 4 years were already done. We went through that, and now we're at Trump. You know, I voted for Trump in 2020 first election. Voted for him again, and I'm very proud.
Where'd you
to
go?
say that I'm very, very excited to see Donald Trump get impeached.
You're what?
Very soon, and hopefully exposed for the. I'm excited for him to see him impeached.
So you support
removed from office for the cover up.
Okay, so I guess I don't really have anything to say to you, right? You're already where I need you to be. You think Donald Trump should be impeached? Yeah. Wow, and you came in.
Yeah, absolutely, but.
Okay, then, so, I mean, yeah, what do we have to talk about? The only thing I could say to you, honestly, is why did you go and vote for him again? That's the part, because you seem pretty intelligent. Why'd you go and vote for him? That's the only thing
because I
say.
thought he was going to be very far right, and he turned out to be very moderate, sadly, and he covered up what's going on with Epstein, so.
I have honestly.
That's very concerning.
So I don't know about the moderate part, right? But I have other Trump voters who would say you're wrong for implicating him in those files. What do you say to those Trump voters? Because
I
believe
don't.
what has
Very
convinced you
simple.
he's in those files?
It's very simple. It's not because he's in the file. It's because he's not releasing them, and he's downplaying them. We saw the 3 million files released. I don't know if you've read any of them
Oh,
or seen any of them,
I've
but a couple of them are very to the point where you might throw up on how
like
absolutely demonic,
you've heard about
evil.
this. You've heard about the Skippy video.
Have you heard about the little girl that they talked to, and they asked if she was okay, and she said, "Yeah, Jesus is with me."
Yeah,
So what they
I
did
saw
was
that
dress
email
her up as
exchange.
Jesus.
I saw
Yep,
that email.
dress her up
Okay,
as, yep, absolutely disgusting.
okay.
So we're not dealing with Donald Trump. What we're dealing with now is evil people, and we're not angry enough. We're not angry enough.
Let me ask you this.
And we need
All right,
to
let me ask
understand.
you this. Let me
Oh,
ask you this.
go ahead.
Are you willing to apologize as well?
No.
To
Nope. Nope.
So do you see the role you played in this at all?
Nope.
No, no,
Do you see the
no,
role
no,
you
no,
played in
no.
it?
Come on, we're having a good conversation.
Yeah, we are, and
All
I
right,
and
all
I
right. So
don't take any
let me ask you this,
accountability of what I did.
because it's the thought process, right? So how many times did you vote for Trump?
Twice, 2020 and 24.
Okay, so 2020, you lived through C-19. In other words,
Correct.
you lived through
Yep.
the whole thing, and then you watched us indict Donald Trump under the Biden administration for all of his crimes. You saw all the E. Jean Carroll stuff, and you've heard this before, correct? Let me make sure I find it.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that. I can't relate.
Okay.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming you heard those statements.
Correct. Still voted for him. Didn't affect me.
And that's the part that blows my mind, because when I was saying, do you understand the role that you've played in this? That's kind of what I was thinking, right? You're either against it or you're complicit. There's no middle ground. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, it says you can't. In the Bible, it says you can't. Are you a Christian?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, so let me ask you this then. Let's just say if you have a friend, do you want your friend to be, I don't know, a little bit of a criminal, or not a criminal, or all the way a criminal?
Well, I don't see the comparison with
Because I'm
my friend being a criminal and
Okay,
voting
so
for Trump.
no. I'm trying to get some clear understanding about how you make decisions, or about who you allow to be around you, right? So let's just say you have and let's not even use the word criminal, because that's too vague. Let's just use the word P3DO, correct? You following
No.
me? Can just follow this
Nope.
example. If you have a friend, keyword is a friend, and you've known this person for
A P3DO, I would disown that friend.
no. Hold on.
That's why I didn't.
Hold on. They haven't.
I would disown that friend.
No. Hold on. I'm not there yet. But can you follow me for a second? All right?
Yeah, I got you.
Rumors are circulating in the community that they might be a P3DO. So they're not technically legally convicted of it, but they're midway. They're midway to being what you would consider a P3DO. Would you sever the relationship with that person?
Yes. Yep.
No, did you hear my question? Because I don't think you answered it correctly based on how you voted. You get what I'm saying?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
So
Not
you had
getting
no
that at
evidence.
all.
You have no real confirmed evidence that this person that you're a friend with has been convicted of it. But you're saying it's enough to cause you to sever your ties. That's what I understand.
Correct.
All right. So
Correct.
when I played this
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
and
What's
this,
the
No.
favorite thing you
No
have in
impact
common
on my
with-
vote.
right? But you see
No
the
impact on my vote.
But you see the
Do you understand?
Hold on. Is that an appropriate thing for a father to say about their daughter? Yes or no?
No.
Why?
Doesn't matter.
Let's
No.
unpack that. Let's unpack that.
Nope. No, don't get away from it.
No,
So
no,
I think you're really
I'm
missing it.
asking you why.
So
I'm asking you. Come on,
these
I'm going to go
happen
back to your question when we're done. I just need to be able to walk to this place with you mentally. All right. Why is that an inappropriate thing for a parent to say?
because it's disgusting. It's your own daughter. It's on your own flesh and blood.
Okay,
Common sense.
okay, and so for the president of the United States of America to say that, and on
In
multiple
a
occasions, hold on,
2006 interview,
hold on, and on multiple
people
occasions,
change.
you think he's changed since then?
Yes,
But you just said you're ready to see him
drastically.
impeached. You just said you're ready to see him impeached.
Drastically. Yes, because of that change.
How do you know a person has changed?
Their demeanor, their tone, where you talk to them.
No,
I think
no,
Donald Trump,
no,
the second term, is
no,
very much a
no, no.
moderate Democrat.
So
I
so so
would describe
so D man, let me explain this. How old are you? Because I'm
24. I
okay,
don't really
okay.
think you're listening to me at all.
Well,
So
D
I think
man.
that's where the disconnect is.
Well, if
Um,
you would quit fighting where I'm going, I would listen to
I'm
you.
not fighting. I'm being very, very honest with you. Those
Okay,
did not affect my vote at all. It didn't concern me at all. What concerned me was the trajectory of the country, of seeing 4 years under Biden, absolutely propaganda machine
uh
propped up, lying to the American people, and where the country was going. And if we voted in Harris, that would be the continuation of Biden.
okay,
I was not okay with that, so I
okay.
voted for Trump.
Okay, so
Very
you
simple,
know what that sounds to
not that
me.
hard.
You want to know honestly because I'm 42, right? So I'm basically almost double your age, right? So I've seen a lot
Yeah,
of I've seen a lot of things in life. I've survived a lot. Now I'm not the oldest person by far, and a lot of people have been through a lot of more. But what that sounded to me like was fear, and it wasn't like you were making a decision based on logic. It sounds like you were making a decision based on fear. If you haven't been
yes.
paying attention, Biden is actually polling now better than Trump, and that's according to a right leaning poll,
I
Rasmussen.
I wouldn't I
So
wouldn't
so
I wouldn't doubt it.
and then we found out he only created 180,000 jobs last year.
Yeah, he only deported seven
No, no,
hundred thousand last year. Too.
hold on. I'm just walking you through where we're at. The tariffs are basically a peacetime tax that he's placed on
Correct.
you and I, right? And I'm hearing
Correct.
rumors that it's cost the average American anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 a month, I mean a year.
Correct.
So we have no real help when it comes to the economy. We have job loss. I hear in certain cases they say we're in a manufacturing recession. When you're talking about quote unquote sealing the border and closing it, he's retreating in Minnesota now, and that's after he's unalived
Correct.
two American citizens and countless others. All right, and he's not polling that
Correct.
well. He's not polling that well when it comes to securing the border. His foreign policy,
Correct.
he hasn't ended the conflict between Russia and Ukraine.
Russia and yep.
He hasn't done that. And I mean, the list
Hasn't
goes
done
on and
anything with
on.
Israel Palestine too as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So if you were to be real, if you were to evaluate your decision making skills, right? What we could
On the
see,
2024 election, I wouldn't vote. If the election was reheld today, I would not vote.
and that would have been the respectful thing to do, right?
True.
But what I'm saying is you got up here, you said, well, Zeus, you're not listening to me, right? And I'm trying to ask you, why would we allow you to lead this country, a person like you, or an organization, right? Or a coalition? Why would we allow someone like you to lead when you've already proven to us you're not good at judging a person, right? Can you
Well, I
imagine?
think that's a fair.
Could you
I
imagine the
think that's a
amount?
fair question, and
Yeah.
and
What?
you know, I think you would, because I was able to vote for Donald Trump. I was able to reevaluate my vote, and you can shake your head
No.
all you want, but that's fine. That's what happens with out of touch lefties like you. You don't want to listen to people. That's fine.
You-
But you have to reevaluate your vote, and just because you voted for someone doesn't mean you're tied to that someone. You can disavow that someone. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, no.
because I'm a Red Sox fan, just because I'm a Red Sox fan doesn't mean I have to cheer for them every single season and for every single game.
Mm.
I can be against the Red Sox for multiple months for boneheaded decisions like trading Mookie Betts. I think that was an idiotic, stupid decision we did trading him to the
Okay.
Dodgers.
Okay, great.
I
But
still like the Red Sox.
okay, but
I
hold on,
still
hold
like
on.
the
This
Red
is in
Sox,
sports. This
right?
is in
You know what I
sports.
mean?
This is
So
in
I
sports.
voted
Hold
for
on.
Trump.
But
I voted for
I
Trump.
heard your answer.
I'm still a Republican, and I regret my vote for a
Eh,
Republican president.
okay, and I think you
Same
listen.
thing.
I honestly think number one, I'm going to give you credit for regretting your vote. So we're good on that part. But my concern here is this, and this is why I say maybe experience needs to be something you need to work on. A person,
No,
and you use sports as an analogy. I don't look at it in that way. I look at it as someone who has an addiction, right? Donald Trump has been doing what he's been doing all his life, but for the past 10 years, he's ran what I call a cult, or in some cases a circus. So
no.
you've not, I don't know how long you've been following him, but let's just say the number is X amount of years.
2015.
15. Okay. All right, so 10 years. You've invested, listen to the word I use, invested 10 years of your life into this man.
Following someone?
Huh? You did.
Like following up on someone?
No, you supported Donald Trump for 10 years, according, you said you've been following him since 2015, correct?
Yeah, following
Okay,
him,
okay.
watching
So
what he does,
yeah.
speeches and
So
like that. I wouldn't
in
say
investing,
following.
and when you invest, there's a factor called time, right? And you've put a lot of time into Donald Trump. Years.
Put in
Years.
no.
Years. You said 2015 from what
No.
I understand.
I put in time into politics.
Okay.
I didn't just listen to Donald Trump.
I
I
get it.
listened to
I
Bernie
get it.
Sanders. You know what I mean?
But
So
listen.
you're trying to make this big leap and it's not working.
Can you just
so let's just
you see how I let
be
you
honest
say what
here.
you needed to say and didn't interrupt you? I get what I'm saying to you. It hurts. It hurts you to hear this. And I don't know if no one in your life has told you this, but you got to listen to me. The reason you cannot be the captain of the ship right now, from the way that I see it, and it's not about me being a radical leftist, it's about me having common sense and understanding what it takes for real change to take place in a human. You have not done the work to change the way you are seeing the playing field, so to speak, when it comes to politics. You just can't wake up after investing 10 years of your life into Donald Trump and then turn around and say, now follow me to this new place that I want to take you all. Because you just got duped. You just proved to us you don't know how to judge a person's character. And you failed for over 10 years doing it. And now your line in the sand is the Epstein files, right? But I've played clips to you of what Donald Trump has said about his own daughter. You acknowledge those clips are wrong, but then you turn around and say, but Donald Trump has changed. Well, if he's changed, why hasn't he released the files? Your logic breaks apart when you do that. You get what I'm saying? Your logic doesn't work. So it tells me, as a person who's never talked to you, that you still have a lot more work to do on a personal level.
Yeah, talking to you,
you still have a lot. You still have a lot more work to do on a personal level, right?
No, I do not. Nope.
Okay,
I disagree.
And this is why I'm going to ask you.
And I think this is why the disconnect is there, because you just went on a ramble. You're very out of touch. Didn't even, you said captain the ship. Absolutely, I should captain the ship because I was able to recognize that my vote was wrong. You know what I mean? I feel like people on your side. No, that's what you said. That's literally what you said. You can't captain the ship because you didn't wake up enough of time, and then you try to tie in 10 years of following a politics into an addiction, which is weird.
Okay.
And you failed at that connection, right? So you failed on that connection, and you need to realize that Donald Trump in his second term is a moderate.
Okay,
Is
hold
a
on,
moderate.
hold on,
He's
hold
not
on,
right wing. He's a moderate.
Okay, hold on.
That's why I regret my vote.
Hold on. Do I regret my vote? Absolutely not. Why? Because I voted for the person that I believed would have done a lot better in terms of demonstrating that someone that I felt had a lot better of a track record in demonstrating that she, right, had the ability to at least demonstrate she had morals and integrity. Now, whether I liked everything Kamala Harris was doing, that's another issue, right? I was ready to try to hold her. Hold on. I was going to be willing to hold any politician, right? I'm willing to hold their feet to the fire, all right, on the things that they campaigned on. And if they're doing things that I feel are an issue, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to put pressure on you to try to help you understand. I'm not okay with that, right? But one thing I can't say happened to me. I could never say that I ignored Donald Trump saying inappropriate things about his daughter. I can never say I ignored the fact that 26 women accused him of SAing. I'm never going to say that I ignored. Hold on. I'm never going to say I read the Katie Johnson thing and dismissed it. All right. And the list goes on and on. I mean, I can't think of everything that I've looked at to prove to myself that Donald Trump was a terrible person in terms of leadership.
Just like Harris.
Hold on.
Yep.
Did I?
Hold on. So let's talk about Harris.
So you just brought up Harris.
Lack of leadership. Because you brought up Harris. So
I asked you not to bring up the Biden. I asked you not to do the whole "what about Biden" thing, and you just brought up Kamala Harris.
No, I didn't. I didn't bring up Biden.
You just brought up Kamala Harris.
You brought up Harris, so that's why I'm talking about Harris. Because you brought her up.
But she's not the president. It's
true.
So,
all right,
then
let's not talk about her.
It's
all right. Let's not talk about her.
Here's the problem. It's
the problem is you are way out of touch.
Can you listen to what I'm saying? Every time I'm in the middle of my sentence, you interrupt me. It is easier, and you can go look at this on your own because it's probably too difficult for you to do it on this show. It's easier for you to demonize Kamala Harris than it is for you to demonize Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has actually done demonic things.
No.
You cannot find me one thing Kamala Harris has done that is way beyond what Donald Trump has done. Find me, what's the worst thing Kamala Harris has done?
I want to know. But I would put them in the same boat. Politically.
So nothing. So
what do you mean nothing?
I asked you what's the worst thing Kamala Harris has done, and you said you wouldn't know.
Cover up for Epstein. 4 years under the Biden administration.
You got proof of that Kamala Harris did that? Because Kamala Harris at best was just the vice
was
president.
Was she in the Biden administration?
Yeah, she was his vice president.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Okay.
So she takes responsibility for the administration she was in.
That's like you blaming
that administration.
So do you have a problem with J.D. Vance?
Yes. Okay. I'm not voting for him.
Okay. I mean, your logic is all off, all right? But you know what? I got to say this.
How is my logic off? Your logic was way off when we were having a conversation. You talked about steering the ship. When I came out, I said, hey, I voted for Trump. I regret my vote because what he campaigned for, he got elected on, and he did not do. So I regret my vote.
But
right, all right.
But
so I voted for a person to do X, Y, and Z.
You're repeating yourself.
He got into office because you're not listening to me. So I have to repeat myself.
No. Okay, listen. On this show, hold on. On this show, you don't need to repeat yourself. All right. I've already made my decision, and I'm just going to say this. Here's my decision on this entire conversation. On one hand, I'm going to say, hold on. On one hand, I'm proud of you, right? That you are brave enough to get on TikTok and admit you regret your vote. I give you credit for that. But however, the critical side of this is this. You can no longer try to be the captain of any movement. You can no longer say you figured it out until you personally do the work and find out why you ignored all the red flags Donald Trump has and still went and voted for him. It makes absolutely no sense. It proves to me.
Because I'm a Republican.
You just interrupted me. You can't handle the truth?
So out of touch.
Hold on. So you can't handle the truth. Fair enough.
What truth?
Every time I start talking and giving you some insight and perspective, because you need to meditate on.
You shut me down.
Because you don't have anything else to add or contribute.
I am adding and contributing. You're not listening to me, Zeus.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I had to mute you, bro, because I'm going to finish saying what I'm saying. And it's not just applicable to you. You don't have the ability to make good decisions because the audio clips that I've played are just a drop in the bucket, honestly. All the things Donald Trump has said, all the things that he represents. And your judgment isn't there. So I would rather you sit out this next election and do the work it takes to figure out what it takes to be a better person when it comes to judging people's character. And I get it. It triggers you to hear me say that, someone on the other side of the aisle, but it has nothing to do with politics. I don't know of any business, I don't know of any community organization that a person who's made such an egregious mistake like yourself would be rewarded by being put into a position of leadership. You don't get to be put in a position of leadership after demonstrating you're terrible at making decisions. Do you understand that? Now I'm unmuting you. Do you understand that?
Nope.
Okay. Well, then I need you to work on that, all right? And then when you get a chance, come on back, because you're only 24.
Hello?
You're only 24, and you got a lot to
Hello?
learn.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah, no, I listened to what you're talking about. And
so what am I saying? Okay, whether you agree with me or not, what am I saying?
Hold on. But
what am I saying to you? Whether you agree with it or not, because I need to know you're listening.
You said because I voted for Donald Trump, I lack leadership skills. I lack critical thinking skills because I ignored certain things he said in the past, and that because I voted for him and followed him for 10 years.
I did not say you lack critical thinking skills. I used the word judgment, and I'm saying to you, your judgment isn't at a level it should be. And you got to do the work on yourself. That means you got to go figure out why you ignored, because I just gave you the test that it was a quick test. I played to you clips of Donald Trump saying inappropriate things to his daughter. You had enough awareness to acknowledge those were inappropriate. That's good. But you turned around and still casted your vote, and you made a decision and you said, well, I'm going to do it because he's changed. But you had no proof that he's changed.
No.
Okay.
Not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth. Not what I said at all.
Okay.
He changed for the worse.
He changed
for the worse.
So you were duped.
For the worse.
So in other words, you were duped. And that's my point.
Correct.
And that's my point. You've proven to all of us that with all your knowledge, your wisdom, your judgment, Donald Trump still duped you. Do you see that you've done that?
Correct. Because
so stop right there.
Yeah,
stop right there. Stop right there. No. Please stop right there. Please.
But we have to have a conversation.
Well, I'm asking you to let me lead this discussion. All right? Because I don't
think you're in a position to lead.
And you are the one that keeps making bad decisions. I
wouldn't say that.
Okay, so if you're not, then guess who is? Me.
And you're not. No. How? How so? If you voted for Harris, you lack.
So I'm going to have to hit the mute button again because obviously
I would question it.
Hold on. I'm going to have to hit the mute button on you. I need you, when I make a point like that, we need to really stop for a second. It's not a speed bump. It's a moment. You get what I'm saying?
No.
So then we don't need to talk then, right?
Because you're not letting me talk, my friend.
Okay.
You're cutting me off. You're not listening to me, and you're bulldozing me. And this is why your side is losing, and you lost half the country.
Do you know what blame stands for? Do you know what blame stands for? I haven't said this in a while. Blame stands for what does it stand
Democratic Party.
No. It stands for been lying and making excuses. Do you know what denial? Do you know what denial stands for? Denial stands for don't even notice I am lying. And you got a serious case of both
am I lying?
Huh? No, you're in denial.
Name one thing I lied about.
You're in denial and you're blaming. And I'm asking you, I said you need to go do
I'm trying to have a discussion with you.
And
you're talking down to me and you're cutting me off.
All right. You know what I'm going to do, young man? Well, you know what I got to do? Hold on. Hold on.
Discussion.
Stay there, right? Because
No. This was a great discussion.
Hold on.
Very glad to see you out of touch.
Hold on.
With modern politics.
Hold on.
And I'm very happy to watch your lives and spew, radical leftists talking. Hey, nothing. You're over talking me though. You didn't listen to me. This was such a waste of time. And this is why people like you are losing elections and losing people like me. Because you don't want to have a real discussion. You want to beat me down. You don't care
You
You
think I
don't want to
beat you
listen to
down?
me.
You think I
Yes,
beat you down, bro?
you. Yep, you beat me down the entire discussion. You didn't listen to me. You think I'm stupid. You belittled me, and whatever, dude. Like, and then you wonder, oh, why did you vote for Trump? Because your side's not opening. Your side's not welcoming. You want to shut me down. You don't want me to vote with you.
Hold on. I gotta hold on. I'm gonna bring up somebody that I have a very high level of respect for.
Oh, Val.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
no, not this guy. Same as Zeus.
Hold on. Hold
Closed-minded and
on.
never want to talk to him.
Hi Val, how are you doing?
Stop
How's it
muting
going?
me.
If you
How's it going?
don't calm down, and because I got a show to run, all right, and I can't have.
Very calm.
Okay, I brought Val up. You know who he is. Hey Val, how are you doing
How's
this
it going?
morning, brother?
Good. Look, I'm glad you've come to a realization of, you know what I'm saying, of Donald Trump. But the thing is this: when we talk about critical thinking skills, like you brought up a minute ago, we talk about the things that you need to do to actually research what's going on in government. When Zeus says you have to do the work, you have to pay attention, because you said Donald Trump changed. Well, here's a hard fact for you: Donald Trump's never changed. He's been the man that he has always been since the 1970s. He pulls the same games and the same cons that he has always pulled since the 1970s. This is well researchable. It's not hard to find. It's not something you have to search hard for to get in your brain. But there's something else that you do a lot. You use the word but a lot. And I want to remind you that in the English language, anytime you use the word but, everything you said before it goes away.
That's deep.
Okay. Okay. That is the reality of the English language and the reality of understanding with people. You brought up the e-files as it's concerned with the Biden administration and Kamala Harris. Well, first off, sir, those were under trials until October of 2024. When things are in active investigation and in active trials, they cannot be released. Okay, therefore, the Biden administration never had an opportunity to release them. The only reason that Trump has the availability to release them is because his DOJ, Pam Bondi, stopped all active investigations into those files. When that happened, they then became capable of what could be released to be released. And then on top of that, there was no Congress that voted to have them to release during the Biden administration. That happened under the Trump administration. Therefore, the only president that has been able to release those files is Trump. No other president is involved. Quit talking about Harris and Biden. Those are talking points that are fed to you by Republicans that you keep falling for.
No. Nope.
And
You lost me there at the end, Val.
here's
Sorry.
the last thing. Here's the last thing.
You lost
I
me at
can't
the
help
end.
people
D-man.
that will not listen to actual facts.
And
I
if
agree.
you doubt me on anything that I say, go look it up.
I
hold on,
understand
D-man.
what you're saying.
D-man. A lot of folks are already saying Big Zeus drop this demon. And I have
We
it.
should. We should because you don't
was
listen
I
to
just
me.
talking? And I have it.
Like,
So I brought. You said I beat you up. I don't want to be a person that spreads hate on my platform. I was trying to spread love. So I bring Val up. Is there anything that Val said to you that made you feel like he beat you up?
Yeah. I felt like his tone was again just beating up down. Hey, you voted for Trump. We told you, haha. Like you don't get to get a voice in politics, and I think that the
Okay,
disconnect we have from the
let me
right to
ask.
the
Let
left.
me ask Val. Let me ask Val. Hey Val, are you saying that D-men or people like D-men don't have a voice in politics? Val, is that what you were saying?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying because
Absolutely.
you
D-man,
have
D-man. I didn't
hold on.
ask you. I'm talking to
Yeah.
Val.
What I'm saying, D-man, is because you have a voice, you should take the time to better educate yourself on how to use it.
Did you catch that, D-man?
Yeah.
Educate yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I picked up from
Absolutely,
it.
and
Better
I,
use
and I
it.
think I am
Okay.
educated.
Okay, and so what we're saying, and so is there anything else you disagree with Val about or me about now? Because I think we've made it to a pretty pivotal moment in this conversation. Is there anything else?
Yeah, again, I think again,
Because I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I was let down because you keep placing the burden for the work that Val just said you need to do. You're placing it on other people, right?
no,
And you
no,
should be doing that yourself. You should have been able to independently verify the information that I'm saying, Val saying, Trump
already
is
did.
saying. You should have been able to verify that on your own, and you didn't. And if you
Yep,
did make
absolutely.
and if you did make an attempt to do it, then you got it wrong. And so that's the big
True.
issue
And
here.
that's what I said at the beginning of the live. You're again not listening. That's what
You
I
think I'm
said,
not listening?
and you're
Okay.
not listening because you
Okay.
just repeated something that I said at the beginning
Okay.
of the live.
Okay.
I said, "Hey, I voted for Trump. I regret my vote because he's a moderate because he ran on certain things and he didn't do it."
Whoa, whoa,
That's
whoa,
what I
what's
said.
moderate? Hold on, stop right there. What is moderate about Donald J. Trump?
Hit unmute.
Foreign policies are moderate with the attacks
Moderate?
of Iran. Yep.
Moderate?
The immigration is very moderate with low deportation and
No,
the
sir. No, sir. You are
and the
confusing. You are
high
confusing. Hold on.
H-1B1
Hold on.
Hold on.
visas.
Hold
You're
on.
confusing words. You're confusing the word moderate, which means center of the
Moderate.
road,
Yep.
with
Center of the road.
unorganized.
And I would make the
No.
argument that a lot of
Center of the road.
Trump is actually has pretty radical views in my opinion. So I don't know where you're getting this idea that he's moderate. I mean, Alligator Alcatraz, that's moderate to you? Give me a break.
Yep. Center of the road.
Center of the
Moderate Trump.
road?
Center of
Okay.
Absolutely. How can
Sir,
you look at
was
Trump's second
Auschwitz,
term and
sir,
not
was
say he's
Auschwitz
moderate?
Okay.
center of the road? Was
Yes.
Auschwitz center of the
Oh,
road?
Yes.
okay. Fair enough. I think we've made it as far as we
Like,
can with you, D-Man.
are we serious?
D-Man.
You guys are laughable, and you
D-Man.
wonder why you're
D-Man.
losing a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's D-Man. When you break them like that, ladies and gentlemen, you just get the worst of the worst out of them. And D-Man, you got a lot of work to do, but not on this show. All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we do. Val, thank you so much, brother. What
Thank you. I
happens?
want to say one more.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, one more quick thing. D-Man, I want you to listen to this. Auschwitz was a policy put together by a fascist regime. A fascist regime is as far right as you can possibly get. I want you to understand that you don't even have a clue what moderate even stands for. Okay?
Speak to him, Val. W Val. And so, D-Man, that D clearly stands for demon. And rightfully so. While I'm thrilled that you have acknowledged, you voted wrong for Trump because you see what he's doing with the e-files, everything else about you screams you haven't learned your lesson yet. And so what we're going to do is this, ladies and gentlemen, when you on this show, you know the rule. When you lie, you must fry. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending D-Man, the true demon, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
That's a huge W Val, W Zeus.
Thanks,
All right, Val. Well, I want to say thank you. All right,
no problem.
We're
Anytime.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Val a huge round of applause. We're gonna bring up some more guests, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, oh wow. I mean, that was incredible. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. All right, so, and I'll just add this, D-Man. I get it. Quitting any addiction is difficult. And the point I was trying to make with not just you, but a lot of you Trump voters, y'all are addicted to Donald Trump. It's easy for you to call me a radical leftist, a liberal, and accuse me of being, having TDS. But if you think about it, that's exactly what people who are addicted to substances do too. When you try to help them understand, you are on something, you got an addiction issue. They like to attack you. Oh, no. I just do this. Oh, no, it's not as big. I've seen you, no accountability. And that's the thing. I'm not going to sit up here and allow a Trump supporter to blame me for driving them away from the Democrat Party. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. You know the difference between right and wrong. You knew Donald Trump was an immoral person. And you did all of those mental gymnastics. Some people call it cognitive dissonance. You did all of that to yourself to justify doing what you did. And that's a personal problem that a lot of you are going to have to deal with. I rightfully believe we're going to get to a place in American history where a lot of the Trump voters, they will say they didn't vote for Donald Trump because they don't want to go on record and admit that they voted for Donald Trump. They'll say, oh, I sat it out, because this is the part they're going to have to deal with, right? In order for me to trust you, D-Man, and ever try to align with you, you got to do the work. You got to do a lot of work and unpack. How did you personally ignore all of those red flags Donald Trump has and convince yourself he's changed? Okay, he's changed for the worse. How did you do that? And why are you so quick to attack Vice President Kamala Harris? Again, I don't need to explain it to you, but you really do need to sit down. Maybe you should watch this video and go back and hit play and just listen. Listen to how you sound. You're super defensive, which is another sign, right? You shouldn't be this defensive if somebody's giving you good information and good feedback. W, Zeus. All right. Do we have anybody else out there that supports Donald Trump? Put a one in the chat if they're denying it now, and they're ashamed of themselves. Zeusy boy so mad after Trump wasn't in. Again, these people, I mean, I'm telling you, I don't. Okay, they don't want to come up here and have an honest conversation. I mean, when you start getting super defensive, that's when I know, we're done with this. All right, I'm trying to bring up other people. Okay, I got to always check in with my brother Antifa. Good morning, Nutty. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Quick question: Was D-Man? He seems familiar to me.
They come up here under weird accounts.
Is that, maybe I'm wrong, but is that Wild Man's son?
Nah. That's not Wild Man's son. Nah, that's not Wild.
Okay.
I know DJ. I know DJ. DJ's not that clever.
Oh, that's DJ.
Yeah, DJ's not that clever.
And I guess what got me was, I heard a little speech impediment there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A little bit. So I just thought it may have been DJ. So anyway.
Yeah.
So grand rising to you in the kingdom.
Yeah. Good morning. Yeah.
So I'm confused because he kept saying, and Val pointed this out a little bit. He kept saying that he regretted his vote because he changed. And I don't know if you all clocked it. What I got out of what he was saying was he changed because he's in his head, he's not as bad as he thought that he ran on. And I'm like, no, because he's worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's worse. Because none of us could have, we all expected down in the dumpster, but we didn't expect the pit of hell. So, and what we're seeing right now, it is the pit of hell. Because I don't think you can get any more diabolical than what this man has shown currently. Now, the first time that he was in the White House, we had some stopgaps placed in the White House within his administration, because we still had people within his administration that, number one, they still believed in the rule of law.
Right.
Number two, they were like, no, I'm going to choose the Constitution over you, my guy. Now, I don't count Bill Barr in that, even though he saw the light.
Yeah.
Like maybe the last month of his term. But how do you go from that to this? How do you go from Bill Barr, who has been Attorney General previous for another president, to Pam Bondi, who we know is in the Epstein files? And we wonder why the Epstein files are not being released in their entirety, unredacted, like the law states. So riddle me this, Zeus.
Yeah.
Riddle me this.
Mm-hmm.
We have a two-party system in the United States of America. We have one of that two-party system, so half,
Yeah.
saying that we want to protect children. We want to protect life.
Correct.
We want to protect. We believe in the rule of law. We're very pro law enforcement. We're very pro this, that, and the other. But that same party is doing everything in its power to squash those said things that they're standing for.
Yeah.
Because Zeus, and I'm taking my time right here because everyone knows that the Epstein whole thing has to do with trafficking people, not just children.
Yeah.
But people in general. All right? And the fact that children are included, it's even more disgusting. What happened to getting to the bottom of it and saying you need to be punished? What happened to that? Republicans, I ask you, what happened to that? Why is it that we cannot agree that we need to get to the bottom of the whole Epstein debacle, whatever you want to call it?
It shouldn't, to me, it shouldn't be this difficult. It really shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. And I don't know why. And people on the left, please just stop saying it because you're wasting your precious oxygen. Stop saying we don't care who's in the Epstein files, because if anyone is in there and they found to have done something nefarious or illegal, they should go down. We all know this, right?
Correct.
They're not listening to that. They're not. So stop wasting your oxygen. We know that we are on the right side of history. We know that even if it's Barack Hussein Obama, or maybe it's just the Barack Obama, not the Barack Hussein Obama. I don't know. But even if Barack Obama is in the Epstein files and it is found that he has done something nefarious, guess what we're going to say?
He's got to go.
I'm going to use a line from you, Zeus. We're going to cook him.
Yep.
We're going to cook him.
Yep.
Because you're disgusting. You're disgusting. And as much as we like Barack Obama, if we find something out and it's proven to be true, even if he's accused, we're going to stop. We're going to take a step back and be like, why are you even being accused?
Yep.
And we're going to listen to the accusations. We're not going to defend the accusations. We're going to listen to them, and then we're going to do our own research. We're going to have deductive reasoning.
Yep.
We're going to see where can we find facts and what's being stated.
Yeah.
And if we find that those allegations are even somewhat true, guess what, Barack? You don't have our support. You don't have our support. Because growing up as a child, growing up in the church, my grandmother would always say, and this goes to character, let not your good be evil spoken of. Meaning, don't hang around the people that's going to make you look bad.
Exactly.
If you're not like them. So I keep bringing up Kendrick Lamar every time I talk to you now. But his hit single from last year, Not Like Us.
Yeah.
That is prophetic, man.
Yeah.
That is prophetic.
Because look at where we're at right now. Look at where we're at right now.
Facts.
Certified.
They are not like us. I don't care if you have the same complexion as I do. Mm-hmm. You still ain't like us.
Amen. Amen. Well, all
you
right.
Still ain't like us.
All right. Well, listen, Duddy, brother, we're gonna move it on. All right, but we're gonna try to get some people up here, and maybe we need to bring you back. But I appreciate you as always. W's in the chat. No lies detected. No lies detected. Are there any more Trump voters out there that want to get some authentic feedback like we gave D-Man? Go ahead, identify yourselves in the comment section, all right? It doesn't take long. It's nothing to debate. We're no longer in a place, ladies and gentlemen, in this country where we need to debate it. We already see it. Everyone should already, at this point, if you're not caught up on the Epstein files and all this other stuff, then yeah, well, this isn't the place for you. But if you are caught up on it, then this is the thing is, why are you ignoring the obvious W, Rick? Yeah, what we're gonna do, it's judgment over here. It's really judgment over here, right? His name is in the files. How many times is Donald Trump's name in the files? Some say 38,000. I've seen others over 1 million times. How are you still sitting around here defending this man? And don't bring up, the missing children, because you know they want to bring up the missing children under Biden. Okay, whatever. Donald Trump should be doing way better than Biden, right? Well, then why is he covering up and protecting everyone in those files? And if you don't believe me that that's what he's doing, if you don't believe me that that's what Donald Trump is doing, I forgot I was supposed to show you all of this, but we're going to go back to the source. We have several people out here confirming this, ladies and gentlemen, and let's go there. Yeah, let's go there. They say they don't want me to do it, but you know what? I forgot. I got so caught up, but we'll go there. We'll listen to one of MAGA's faithful, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay. There were only 4 Republicans, only 4 of us that signed that discharge petition. Thomas Massey, myself, Lauren Boebert, and Nancy Mace. Now, what was happening in the background for months leading up to when we finally got it released is we were getting pressure from the White House. We were getting pressure from the speaker. Do not take your name off this discharge petition. And we're like, why? We're talking about the Epstein files. This is the ultimate promise. This is the ultimate way to provide transparency. This is the ultimate way to take it to the deep state and expose a whole criminal cabal of rich, powerful elites that I believe control everything. And guess what? Come to find out they do.
They do.
And so we're like, why? So in the meantime, President Trump is calling it Epstein, the whole thing a hoax. Yeah. He's calling it a Democrat hoax. He won't have anything to do with the women. He still refuses to have anything to do with these women. So this whole thing is building. The women are saying President Trump did nothing wrong. They still say this. President Trump did nothing wrong.
I know.
Their attorney says Donald Trump's the only one that helped us. And guess what? That came out in the Epstein files that he reported Jeffrey Epstein. Yep. So but Donald Trump is fighting it. President Trump is fighting it. President Trump is yelling at me. The White House is putting pressure on Nancy Mace. They take Lauren Boebert in a skiff. I don't even know what they said to her in there. They are attacking Thomas Massey, nonstop attacking Thomas Massey. And then one day I get a phone call from the president in September, and he is so mad at me. And he's yelling at me, and he's angry at me. And the fact he's like, you're supporting Rand Paul Jr., and he's chewing me out for signing my name on Thomas Massey's discharge petition to release the Epstein files. And I'm trying to tell him, Mr. President, they say you did nothing wrong. Right. This needs to come out. Right. And so we're having this argument. And he tells me on this phone call, he's like, Marjorie, my friends will get hurt.
That's it. That's it. I mean, that is it. Obviously, that's it. Because they're all in here. Imagine the phone calls. It's everyone. It's every single person is on this freaking list. They're all there. Every billionaire, heads of state, Larry Summers, Peter Thiel. They're all in there.
You see that, MAGA? You see what Marjorie just said? Donald Trump turned on her because of what's in those files. There's nothing else to debate. And she's trying her best not to say it, but we all know what she wants to say. What is that? Donald Trump's name is in those files the most, and he doesn't want me to release those. He doesn't want me to sign the discharge petition because does anyone think Donald Trump actually has friends? No, Donald Trump doesn't have friends. The only person Donald Trump cares about is who? Who is the only person Donald Trump cares about, ladies and gentlemen? Does anyone know the answer? Because if I give it to you, you know what they're going to say. I'm programming you. Who's the person that Donald Trump cares about the most, ladies and gentlemen? Look at the chat. W himself. See, I'm not the one pushing people to say these things, MAGA. They figured it out. I'm just the one saying it on TikTok, all right? One more video, and then we'll go back to the box, all right? I'm so sorry to do this, but these are the two videos that I felt we needed to get out. This is a video, and some of you may have seen it, but I go to X because X is where Trump supporters are in the wild, and they're crashing out. This one is titled, Every MAGA Cult Follower, Even MAGA Cult Followers in Texas Are Turning on Trump. And this is a video about a right-wing content creator who doesn't normally talk politics. He says, do not watch the Skippy video. And if you haven't seen the Skippy video, it's inappropriate to play on TikTok. But listen, you can just see this man's reaction to it, all right?
So I accidentally just got the Skippy video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please, I'm begging you.
Shout out to Isaiah Martin.
Don't go look it up. Okay. It was sent to me by someone who had good intentions, and they wanted me to call it out on my platforms because I have such a huge following on my Instagram and Facebook. This message is for President Trump. It's not. Earlier today, P.S. Trump, fuck you. I'm gonna say that. Earlier today, you said it's time for us to move on from these Epstein files. The fuck are you talking about? Who's been arrested? Who's been arrested? There are people currently right now, like the Skippy, who is in the government. And if you can watch that video and hear that child and say we need to move on, you are worthless in my eyes until you do something. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. We need to burn this motherfucker to the ground until every single person that was involved in this, my guys, I know my platform isn't political, but goddamn, I feel like at this point, if you're not saying anything, you're complicit. Like you're okay with what happened to these women, these children, these young boys, these men. And it was done by the highest powers in government. It was done by the most powerful people that are supposed to protect. I'm begging you, don't go listen to the video. I'll never forget it. I turned it off as soon as I kind of got an idea what I was watching. But that's something I will never get out of my head. Burn this fucking shit to the ground until we expose every one of them. Trump, that is your fucking job. Do your fucking job.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, some say he is a Trump supporter. Some say he's not, right? I don't know the answer to it. But one thing you can see, ladies and gentlemen, is it's that disturbing. It's that sick. I've looked at it, and people say, they go, how is Donald Trump still allowed to be the president, right? And so that's the question, MAGA. The Skippy video, I can't even play it on TikTok, but it was disgusting. Trump protecting Democrats. You think so? You think Trump is protecting the Democrats, Viper? That's pretty disturbing coming from you. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I don't encourage anybody, if you want to protect your peace, honestly, you can't go through those files because those files contain disturbing content, and you just can't help but wonder, why is Donald Trump playing games? Some people, I've seen one video. And what does this video say? Oh, one Trump voter says, maybe Trump is doing all of this to release the files because in a way he's trying to go after the perpetrators, right? This is Donald Trump's way of going after the perpetrators. And they said it's 12D chess. It's not 12D chess. It's simpler than that. This is a man who ran only because he had to protect his own rear end because he was facing time. Donald Trump was facing years and years of his life in prison, right? Because, we had him dead to rights, Jack Smith. And that's all he cares about is himself. And so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, make sure you go look this up, Bricktop NAFO, all right? Make sure, all right, because we don't want to give out misinformation on this show. But if he is a Trump supporter or he's someone that voted for Trump, and we're going to go put him in the category with Marjorie Taylor Greene, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we do. Join me in sending these demons where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence.
You can go watch the Skippy video on YouTube. Actually, what do I think you need to type? I had a link to it. Let me see. There was a link. I'll read it out here. I won't play it. All right, but let me see what the title of the video is. Let me see. If I find it, I'll give it. I'll find it because it's not titled the Skippy video, but you might be able to find it online. Seriously. All right. Go into the box. Let's see who's in the guest request. Bring up some more panelists, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Okay, who do we got? If you're in the guest request, please, ladies and gentlemen, please hop out. If you've accidentally tapped the screen and you found yourself in the guest request, double check. Hop on out, all right? And because I don't want to keep wasting time trying to get you up here. Let's see. Who is this? Got so many people. Smoke. Look at that. So many people in the guest request. Who do we have up here? Robert. Going once. Robert, are you there? How do you all end up in the guest request on accident? How does everybody end up in the guest request on accident? It's the most bizarre thing I've seen on this app. Seriously, you don't know you're in the... Oh my God. Yeah, you said clear the box on Tara? Okay. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Good morning. Who is this? Kimberly? Good morning. Kimberly, good morning. Yep. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Let's go. What we'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just clear out the guest request because you just never know, honestly. Hold on. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. If you've accidentally sent the guest request because you've been tapping the screen, double check and hop on out of that box. Don't send a request just yet until I clear everyone out, and then we'll start again. Jesus Christ. Don't send another guest request, ladies and gentlemen. Do not send one. Jesus. Let's see. Okay, let's see. We're down. There. Yeah, there we go. We're clearing it. Okay. Bear with me. All right. Do not send a guest request. Do not send one. All right. And because some people are accidentally. All right. I think we've done it. All right. So now send the guest request. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. All right. Miss Pack Your Bags. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing great. It's been a while since I spoke with you. I'm so happy to be among the kingdom this morning.
All right. Well, I'm happy you're here. I am so happy you're here. But what do you got for us, if you don't mind? Greetings, Poker Dad.
You know what? I just wanted to come up and just point out a couple things. I know that normally we are on your show and there's always Democrats versus Republicans, but I feel like in the issue with the files is past political party. It doesn't matter what side you are on. We should all unite on this issue and agree that this is wrong and that he is hiding the files and specific files for a reason. This is something we should come together on. We can't meet on anything. We should be able to meet on this issue.
Is it possible for you to unite with MAGA on this issue? Because a lot of people are having a hard time uniting with MAGA in general. That's my experience, but maybe you have a different way of looking at this. I
can.
Huh?
If they do what you say, tell the truth. That's literally the bottom line. If they tell the truth, then we should not have an issue with coming together when it comes to facts, right? Because facts they're not disputable. You can't dispute facts.
Yeah, I agree. But as you can see, some of them are struggling, right, to tell the truth about what's going on. What do you think that's about? And then if so, or and if you see that, I guess the question is, how do we deal with those, in your opinion, who are struggling to tell the truth, right? Because in a way, we still need them?
No, I mean, we can't do anything about that, but I think it really comes down to accountability. And at the end of the day, if you're not able to be accountable, then you're not going to be able to see clear, right? You're not
Yeah.
going to ever, you're not going to be able to,
They're
because you are in the cult. And at the end of the day, you have this idea. And I think that, you know what, to be honest, I wanted to say this to you before. I honestly believe, especially a lot of the people that come on your panel that are right wing, I really do believe that they agree with you 95% of the time. I just don't think that they want you to know it. And I don't think that they're ready to admit what they know. I really do. I don't think they're ready to admit what they know. And they
I
want
gotta
it
give
right.
it to you because honestly, I believe you, and I think it's because if you're a person that's actually paying attention and you're thinking, it's very difficult to learn and accept all the stuff that I'm saying that you're saying in one sitting. But it does go, and they think about it, right? After they leave the show, they'll be thinking about it, and then that's when you'll know, to your point, that they're actually agreeing with me, right? Because I think right now they're relatively quiet, aren't they?
Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets. And I believe that they hear what you say. And a lot of times when you say things, you're literally validating things that I know that we all see, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
We all see it.
Yeah.
And it's that stubbornness. You ever meet somebody so stubborn, no matter what you say to them, they just never gonna admit it. This is what we're dealing with here. And these are the people that are DJ and Tiny Tank Top Tick Shrimp, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
They all agree with you, but they will never admit it. They'll go to their grave because they're so stubborn and they don't want to admit that they agree more with us than they do their own party.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my God. You said it. You took the words right out of my mouth. W's in the chat for Miss Pack Yo Bags. Rightfully so.
That's right.
Rightfully so. Well, listen, I totally appreciate you coming up here and saying that, all right? Because
Thank you for giving me the time, and I appreciate you, and I keep doing what you're doing, Zeus.
all right.
We love you.
All right, and I love you back. Oh my gosh. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's really not that difficult to get on a show like this or any platform. And I get it. There's hidden motives, right? I think some of the MAGA that do come here, they're just doing it to try to get, viewers, get more followers, and they got to play their role. I think that may be what's going on. I think some are genuinely confused, genuinely disturbed. I don't know what it is, but I have found that these conversations, they go beyond my platform, right? And these are things people actually go around thinking, and you've seen it on this show a few times where people have came back and they've said, I thought about what you said. Maybe your delivery wasn't what I liked, but you were right, or some of the other panelists were right. And I'm saying, yeah, because that's how learning takes place. A lot of the times you're not going to make a person change their behavior with one conversation. I know that. That's why I'm a lot more patient in terms of these conversations, because I'm not just thinking, oh, this is going to happen in 10 seconds. I'm going to convince this person that's invested 10 years of their life into Donald Trump. I'm going to convince them in this moment to, no. I understand what's going on. But what I am doing is planting a lot of seeds. Yeah, there's a parable in the good book, the sower, so to speak, goes out and sows those seeds. Some of the seeds I sow, they land on good soil. Some don't land on some good soil. It is what it is, but it's not just me sowing in the person that I'm talking to. I'm sowing to everybody in here, all right? So that's my mindset, and actually it goes back to what I wanted to say, at least especially amongst my mutuals. You don't got to do what I do, but please, understand your words. They go farther than the person you're talking about or you're talking to. Your words go further than the person you're talking to. And I believe that is something to be mindful of, number one. But then also, I think, and I'll speak on it, D-Man, you said something, and I can address it. He said something about people like me are driving people like him away from the Democrat Party. And this is one of the biggest lies that are out there. Because I do not represent the Democrat Party. All right, and I've always said we have a very, very wide tent of people. So if you're looking at one person and thinking that that one person represents everybody, that's your first mistake. The second thing is this: my perspective, right? It may resonate with you or it may not, but if what I am saying to you makes you uncomfortable, this is my lesson to you Trump supporters. If what we are saying to you makes you uncomfortable, then the question you should be asking yourself is, why should we listen to you? Why should anyone listen to you? Because have you ever thought to yourself, the things you're doing, the things you're saying are also uncomfortable, right? It's amazing how the Democrats, they call us the tolerant left, right? Isn't it amazing how we seem to be able to tolerate a lot of things with MAGA, but y'all can't tolerate anything when it comes to the Democrats. Everything the Democrats do, you have a meltdown about it. Joe Biden eats ice cream. Kamala Harris laughs. Obama's tan suit. You can't handle that. Oh, y'all are sick. Y'all are sick and y'all need to stop this. And that's a huge W, Zeus. I see it for what it is. You're not going to trick me, MAGA. You're not going to trick me into making me think. You figured things out. All right, moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. Who is this? Yeah, good morning. How are you? Yeah, are you there? Going once? Going twice? Yeah, not so yeah. All right, moving it along. I guess we're having a connection issue. Let's see. Let's see. I thought I saw you. All right, let me hit accept.
Yo, what's up, brother?
Good morning, Vice. How you doing, bro?
Chillin'. I just wanted to clarify something. Your bags are packed said that this platform, your platform, happens to be Democrats versus MAGA. Since I know I left the kingdom for a year because of my own political lives getting attacked and threats, you know this because we were cool. But I always thought your platform was about us just being decent humans.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, because not the Republican Party as a whole is not all MAGA. If
True.
anything, I would have to say that your platform is Democrats, Republicans, Independents, real Americans versus MAGA and cults. You know, I haven't been in the kingdom in a while.
That's funny.
They haven't heard me speak in a while, but you know what I usually do. I know you're the most handsomest. You know, I was messing with you earlier. I don't agree on social media, but in the kingdom, yes, you got that.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself, bro.
Well,
You're treading
you know
on
you're
some.
my boy, so I gotta pick at you. But dude, just keep doing your thing. I was listening to a few things. The one guy that came up, D Man, I think what his issue was, he goes on a lot of platforms and he always feels attacked. So that's what he was focused on. He wasn't focused on listening to learn and learning to listen. But like you said, he's young. So eventually, when he gets about our age, he will understand. Now,
Amen.
As far as the Epstein files are concerned, Nutty made some key points throughout last week. Shay made some points, but I guess every news source, every reliable fact checking source on the internet has Trump in there over what 38,000 times.
Yep, or a
There's a lot.
million. Jamie Raskin said over a million in the unredacted. So
There's a lot of other, senators and former heads of state that's in there. Some of them not accused of anything, but we have to wait and see. Now, like you said, he's afraid of the files. But I'd be afraid of the files too if I was accused by over 26 women of something else in another case.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think there's some feedback though because I have to mute Otherwise, then it starts to echo. So that's why there's a little bit of a delay when I'm talking. But yeah, you're
Oh,
totally right.
but also there's a lot of things that I don't. There was so much stuff last week I want to clarify, but I'll get to that later on in the week.
All right.
But as far as everything that you're doing, so we can make this a little quicker, because I like your new setup and everything. Um, I just believe, like you were talking about, like Trump being friends with Bill Clinton. He's never been friends with Bill Clinton. So this new turnaround, I don't know what that's about. Like you was asking people, what's that about? He might have some old home videos that we don't know about.
Well, there's speculation out there. Him and Bubba, and I could play the song, but I might get in trouble if I play it. But there's questions that people have about what Donald Trump and Bubba were doing.
But don't forget, Donald Trump and Bubba used to be a Dixie Democrat.
Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. W Vice.
You don't like when people bring up Biden, but he was a part of that gang too. You know that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they all have checkered past, but what I look for, and I've said this very plainly, is like, are you doing some of the work it takes, right, to at least demonstrate you have morals and integrity, right? I can't expect you to be 100% perfect. Politics is a very, very dirty game, and what we're dealing with right now is, to me, with Trump, unfathomable, just in terms of pure evil.
Well, I mean, you're gonna put him in a lake of fire, so it is what it is.
Exactly. All right, brother. Well, listen, we're gonna keep moving it along, but you're coming back and you're gonna keep coming through. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yeah. While I'm back, I mean, I got a couple of unalivened threats. So my TikTok manager told me to chill. Yeah, that fast. As soon as I ain't back a month and 16 days,
Oh my
and we already
goodness.
got credible threats.
See
On
what I'm
my
saying? See what I'm
That's because
saying?
I'm like, just so the kingdom knows. I mean, I appreciate you welcoming me into the kingdom, always doing that until everything happened. I am a registered Republican, but I never voted MAGA.
Amen.
I always felt like there's a lot of Republicans out there that, whether Democrats know it or not, we all voted for Obama. We voted for Obama twice. We were going to vote for Hillary Clinton. Like, Trump just started something that has just wildfire, just from the Heritage Foundation to white Christian nationalists. They just hopped on that. It was just like, segregation, segregation, segregation. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When you were speaking to the gentleman earlier, I don't know what race or creed he's from, but he kept saying you were attacking him and you were putting him down. There's a lot of white Christian national males that feel that way when a black person is speaking, or someone of color. But if someone that is white says something to them, or white tea, they are good with it.
Ain't that something? Isn't
That's
that
why
something?
Jasmine Crockett has her issues in Congress. And then about your girl, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I dislike, she was being very untruthful, but still trying to kiss Donald Trump's butt in that interview. You know that, right?
Yeah, she won't say all the way what it is. That's how I still know that the demon is still within. But did she make a move in the direction I think she needs to make a move in order to fix this country?
Mr. Incognito, come on, you know me, you know Vice. Are you gonna say that Republicans are all for themselves? You've been to my platform. You know I'm not all for myself. I'm about fairness. Come on, man.
No.
I've openly admitted that I'm a Republican.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're gonna move it on, Vice. All right, but as always,
man, you have a good one.
I appreciate you checking in with us. All right, and I'm gonna encourage you to keep up the good work, ladies and gentlemen. My brother Vice, you too. No lies detected. There you go. You can see it's a show. I told you, I know people on all sides of the aisle. I'm still going to push for the party that I'm in, right? But at the end of the day, one thing is clear. Like Miss Pack Your Bag said, yeah, the Epstein files, that should be the line in the sand, no matter where you're at. Seriously. And if you can't see that, then there's a huge problem. All right, seriously. All right, moving it along. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. My good friend Kabira, welcome to the show, Kabira. How are you?
Good morning, Zeus. I am fine. How are you?
I am doing all righty. All right, really nice to see you this morning, bright and early.
Yeah. Well, no, it's bright and late for me, but
Oh,
I miss the kingdom, with my working hours. And so I just said I wanted to stop in and say hello to you in the kingdom. And I'm loving your new format. I really like it.
thank you. Thank
Curtail
you.
people through so many minutes and cut them off at the knees.
Yeah, there you go. W. Kabira, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. More changes are coming, all right? But, you've been hanging out with me for quite a while, and it's totally, totally appreciated, all right? Seriously. You said it's
Thank you.
late. You said it's late. It's only 8:11 a.m. over here. I'm a little concerned about how's 8 a.m. late?
Well, considering I get to work at 6 p.m.
Oh my goodness.
and
Oh, okay,
yes,
okay.
and
You
yeah,
didn't flip the script. All right. Well, listen.
yeah, flip the script real bad. But I just really want to come in and just say hello.
All right.
I miss you guys.
Oh,
I work with you might as well say MAGA people. Most of the guys I work with that come from the South, they're MAGA.
yeah.
And some of them, one of them had a off. What's today? Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday night, I fed the crew, right?
Right.
And this MAGA man, I had one guy barbecue the chicken, and chicken barbecue.
Oh,
And so
fixins. Yeah.
he fixins. He says to one of the other fellas who's Latino. He says, come on, man, get you some chicken. And the guy says, no. He goes, what? It's not Mexican chicken? I said, this is the thinking of MAGA. What type of person says a thing like that? You understand
A
what I'm
racist
saying?
person. They don't even they probably know they're racist, but they're gonna deny being racist. You know those type of people, right?
Exactly. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you got it. I took a picture of his hard hat, and he has Trump 2028 or 2024 on it, and that just says
Despicable.
so, they're a mess.
Yeah.
And another guy has a Trump $100 bill sitting on his desk, and it says 2028, I think. It's the madness, but I just overlook it. I just try to keep it moving, Juice.
Yeah. That's all we can do. But one thing we're noticing is, do you see the number of people who are proudly, proud of Donald Trump? Remember after he won, he said he had a mandate. Remember, and they were saying, "This is what I voted for." Are you seeing that a lot where you're at? I'm just curious.
Well, one gentleman I work with, he's from I believe Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
And he mimics Trump with his hands, but the mimic he's doing, and I'm pretty sure he's a Trump man.
Yeah.
He's not really pleased with Trump because of not the hand gestures, but the comments that come. So some of them are sort of fading away from him, whereas it used to just be MAGA, 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 Trump, 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 Trump.
Yeah.
And so I by me working around them so much, a lot of them that come from the South,
Yeah.
I can tell they're pulling away, except the one gentleman who made that off-color joke, to the Latino man. I really found, I plan on telling them about it.
Yeah.
You really need to watch them out. I didn't appreciate the joke.
Wow.
He thought it was funny, but I didn't appreciate it.
MAGA thinks racist jokes are funny. Isn't that funny?
No, it's not funny.
You caught what I was saying.
Yeah,
W.
I get
Kabir.
what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. They think it.
Anyway, huh?
I said they really do think. I was having a conversation with a strong demon yesterday, and he was trying to convince me, the Obama thing. He was trying to convince me that to him was a funny joke. And like you say, I mean, these people are the same folks. In a split second, will turn around and tell you that they are offended by what you're saying or doing. Right? They're so easy to offend, but they think jokes like that.
It's funny. They call Democrats, or as they say, liberals,
Yeah,
or progressives. They call us snowflakes, Yet they cry over the smallest thing. If you say Trump hair is off beat today, they get offended.
Yeah.
You know, if you say I go to church on Tuesday night, they get offended. No, everything offends them. Everything and anything offends them. Yet they sit back and they say that we're snowflakes, and I just find it amusing that these people. But anyway,
Hey.
Zeus, I'm not going to hold you
All
up.
righty then.
I'm going to
Vice.
try to crawl in this bed
All
and
righty
get a little
then.
sleep.
All right then. You go ahead and get yourself some rest. All right. But thank you as always for tuning in when you can. I appreciate it. All right. And keep up the good work in the fight.
All right, Mr. Zeus.
All
You
right.
take it easy, my friend.
All right.
bye-bye.
All right. You too. Oh my gosh, ladies. Thank you, Kabira and W Vice. Thank you for the galaxy. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see, what time is it? Do we have anybody else out there that still supports Donald Trump? If you still support Donald Trump, send me a guest request. Okay. If you still support Donald Trump, please send me a guest request, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get to the bottom of this. Hold on one second. I'm looking in the queue. I am looking in the queue. Hold on, bear with me. There you go. Okay, let's see. Moving it along. Alrighty then. Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm going back to the guest request. Thank you all. Thank you for sharing the screen, tapping the live, sending the gifts. Woo. All right, moving it along. Who do we have next? Good morning, Peggy. Welcome to the show. Peggy, did you accidentally send a guest request, Peggy? Peggy Martin, going once. Uh-oh, we're back. I guess we're back to where we were with these people sending up guest requests and not knowing they're in the guest request. Okay, remember, if you're in the guest request, you might want to hop on out. All right, you might want to hop on out because you might end up on the show and we might hear you saying or doing something you don't want people to know. Good morning. Who do we have? Huck. Huck. Moving on to the next one. Let's see. Suzanne. Welcome, Suzanne. Going once. Going twice. Suzanne, gone. I mean, this is so... Jeez. We're going to drop Suzanne. Ronald. Ronald Smith. Ronald Smith.
Hey, Zeus.
Oh, you're there. What's going on? Did you accidentally?
Yeah. Yeah, I stepped away from my phone, and the next thing I know, I heard Ronald Smith.
Yeah.
Going, oh,
How did you?
no.
So you accidentally sent the guest request, right?
Yes,
How
but
did
I
you do
didn't.
that?
I wasn't near the phone.
How did you end up in the guest request? Because I get, people are in there, and I say, you know what? I'm gonna have to start charging people if they guest request. Oh my goodness. W. Kabira. Wow. Thank you. Wow. All right, that's it. Show's over, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of here. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, Kabira. Oh my God.
See, that's how powerful you are. You can just bring people up. Just they don't even have to be there.
Yeah,
and you can make them be there.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, listen. Show's over, ladies and gentlemen. Big Zeus is done. That's it. That's a wrap. We've sent everyone to hell. Ronald Smith. I gotta go. I'm just kidding. All right. But seriously, how do you all end up in the guest request? W. Rick. How do you end up in the guest request? Okay, how do you end up in the guest request? Because I don't want to keep you too long. Okay. Well, it sounded like you were busy back there. Were you running and huffing and puffing? Because I heard something.
Yes, I was running. Because I went into the bathroom.
Okay.
And my phone is in here on.
Okay.
And I heard my name. I'm going, what?
Okay, because I was thinking honestly, I was like, I hope you ain't doing something on that bed that'll get you in trouble on TikTok. All right, and so I'm glad you
No.
cleared that up because I was gonna have to send you somewhere, brother, because we can't have
No,
that on the show.
I was just trying to get up out of it. I'm 81, so it takes a while. I got to get started early.
Listen, well, don't push yourself too far, all right, and slow down a little bit, all right. I can't have you crashing out back there at the house, all right, brother.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to doing what you were doing, all right. And as always, thank you for checking in with us this morning, all right. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate your show. I listen to it every morning.
Do I
This
spread
is
hate?
the first time that I got accidentally called up, but I'm on here every morning.
No. You didn't get accidentally called up. I've cleared the box, and then somehow you're back in the request, and it's not just you, but and let that be a lesson, right? I should start charging people for accidentally sending me a guest request. So that's what I'm going to do. If you're in the guest request and I bring you up and you go, oh, I didn't know. $5 or send a galaxy because seriously, if you listen to the show like you're saying, then you would have hopped out of the guest request. So you're not listening to the show and you're trying to trick Big Zeus, right?
No, I'm not trying to trick you. I don't do things like that. I was actually going in the bathroom and my phone was in here on the bed when I heard you call my name. So I ran in here.
W. Rick. All right, Ronald. We're going to move it on, brother.
Okay.
All right. Tell the missus I said hello.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, trying to get up here and pretend like we don't know what it is. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I got a whole guest request. And yes, W. Rick, WVIP. I got a whole guest request of folks. And I'm sitting here going, I promise you, it'll be the same thing. I didn't know I was in the guest request. Watch. We'll see how much y'all want to bet this person. Oh, Marissa. Thank you. Wow. You guys are so kind this morning. Thank you. All right. Susie. Pena Roblar.
I'm sorry, Zeus. I'm shopping and I didn't even know.
Okay,
sorry.
so that's a galaxy now, Susie. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you have W. She Fit. So, Susie, that's a galaxy. You can do it now. You can do it later. No, I'm kidding. Let me move it on again. Kabira, you sent another guest request. I can't charge you. I can't ask you to do anything. Kabira, did you accidentally send a guest request?
Yes, accident. Accident.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, brother.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Okay. I mean, you've already taken care of your tab, so I can't ask you. All right. Seriously. All kidding aside, let me try another person. I mean, I don't know what's happening on TikTok where people are accidentally sending guest requests after I cleared it out. Moving it along. Who is this? Let's see. Okay, we're having some patching issues. All right. W. Rick. Wow, Rick. All right, so we have two people trying to get it happens to all of us. Yeah. I get so nervous if that were to happen to me. I mean, there's sometimes I think I may have done it like maybe. Okay, uh-oh. We have somebody. Al Shepard, are you there? Al Shepard. Nope. This is mind-blowing, ladies and gentlemen. This is mind-blowing. Sean Christopher Adams.
Oh, sorry, Zeus. Accident.
So hilarious. I mean, wow, ladies and gentlemen. What do we do? I mean, like, what do we do? Okay, everyone, double check to see if you are in my guest request on accident. All right, swipe out of the app, All right, and then come on back in. I guess it's happening because you're tapping. All right, Simon. Simon. Simon Williams 690. Simon Williams 690. Stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Text 80s girl.
Hello, Zeus.
Hello, good morning. Did you accidentally send Big Zeus a guest request?
I did not.
Oh, so
I
you
have been listening to you for some time, and I am not the kind of person, I don't put any of my stuff out there, but I appreciate you talking to people and telling them like it is and helping them try to come to some conclusion. I'm a lawyer, and I'm telling you, it is so hard to convince people what's right and what's wrong.
Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. What kind of law do you practice?
Well, I practice different areas. Right now, I'm close to retirement, so I'm home and enjoying a little bit of my grandkids, but I'm looking for a third life, as you say.
Yeah. Well, you're doing great. You sound great. I mean, it's an honor to hear from you. All right. Seriously, she's fit. Thank you. But you said something. It's hard. It's hard to get people to basically acknowledge that they've made a wrong decision in their life, right? It's kind of what you're getting at. That's what
So
you're
much
seeing.
so. I'm seeing it. Well, one, I live in Texas. Let's make that. I live in San Antonio,
Okay, shout out to San
and
Antonio.
which is San Antonio is really a pretty blue place, and I've made lots of wonderful friends through church. I'm a Catholic, and I thought we all kind of believed the same thing, and then I used to work with the youth, the teenagers, and some of the people. I mean, it was when Obama was running, and people were saying the worst things, and I couldn't. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! I thought we all read the same book.
Yeah.
I thought we all practiced the same faith. What are you saying?" But
You said they
clear,
did that when
yeah.
Obama won. People out there got a little.
Oh,
They showed you who they really were.
I'll tell you, people, every president gives an address to school, and they take a day and they make an announcement, and the president speaks to all the students all over the country. I assume that happens all over the country.
Right.
But here in Texas, people that I knew and really considered to be almost like family were pulling their kids out of school so they didn't have to hear it.
Wow.
And I remember talking to a guy who I thought we saw eye to eye, and I confronted him and I said, Why would you do that? And he said, well, what would that man have to say to my kids? And I said, probably stay in school, do your work, be the best you can be, all good messages, which it was.
Right.
My daughter was like in the third grade, my youngest child, and she's super smart, and she had to do a little project. Who's someone you admire?
Yeah.
And she put Obama. And I'll tell you what, that little girl was, not physically, but she was attacked by her peers. Third grade.
Yeah.
No idea what they were talking about, but that they had heard at the kitchen table.
Wow.
And I just, it's just crazy to me. I mean, I came from Colorado, and when I first moved here, and I thought these are the nicest people, and it is true.
Yeah.
But people, I don't understand how they could not see that this man was the biggest grifter, liar, cheat, philanderer, sexist, racist. I mean, how could you not see this? I just couldn't understand it. Especially, I'm Hispanic, especially Hispanics.
Okay.
I don't get that. It shames me when I hear other people, and I have a couple in my family who I love more than anything. I don't know how I feel like they are in a
people in
cult.
your family who are Hispanic that support Trump.
Yes, and I don't get it. I don't get it, and I hear them talk, and I try to remember when we were kids. My brother, like I try to remember when we were kids. I love him so much, I'm like, what happened? What turned you
It,
away
I hate to ask this.
from the light?
I hate to ask this, but I have a theory that a lot of brothers, that I know, brothers, they're doing this to try to get snow bunnies. You ever seen that? Like like Byron
Yeah,
Donalds. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just curious.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think that's happening in the Latin culture?
I think it goes a little. There's a little of that, but I faced this when I was in college because Hispanics, we've always had sort of a struggle. We weren't Mexican enough to be Mexican. We weren't American enough to be American. So, we've always had this struggle, and I think in some of that there was people who had like a self-loathing. They hated not belonging.
Right.
Not no matter
And
what they
did
did, cut the
did they want to
class.
belong to the black side, or did they want to belong to the light side in your estimation?
They wanted to go to the dark side because they felt like if I give up everything, then I can become one of them. That's the only thing holding me back is that I'm too Mexican and I'm too into my culture. And you would have people, mispronounce their names. If they were lighter skinned, they wouldn't acknowledge that they were Hispanic. It
What
was
would
just like I'm kind of in the middle,
yeah.
so it's like it's obvious I'm Hispanic,
W Gucci,
but
thank you. So you said most in your basically, if you had to say this is my opinion, you're saying some of these Hispanic, mainly Latin men, maybe even the women, I don't know, they want to be black.
yeah, them too.
They want to be black, or do you think they want to be white?
I think they want to be white. I think they want to be white.
I thought so. W Zeus,
I have.
thank you. And that's, I didn't twist your arm to make you say that. That's you speaking based on your knowledge and your experience
Oh
dealing with your
no,
own. Okay, great. I mean,
it's something I've been looking into because I want to understand. I want to understand.
exposed. You just got
People from the
exposed on this show.
law.
They just got exposed on this show when you said that, because I ran into a lot of right leaning content creators, Lion Lou, and I could get into a conversation with him, but that's the first thing that jumped into my mind. I said, "What? Why would you support people that you know are clearly racist?" And then it came to me one night. I was, the clouds opened up, so to speak, and it said, "Oh, because they want snow bunnies," and you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sick.
And I think that the Hispanic community is very diverse in and of itself. You have I saw someone make a comment about Afro Latinos. Yeah. And you have couples that are mixed race and have I mean, not mixed race, but I'm best friends. They're a black man,
Yeah.
a Hispanic woman, who have beautiful children. And, you know, how they identify themselves is up to them. I mean, to me, they look Hispanic, but they also look black. I mean, why do we have to? Why do we have to even say? But they, get pressured to pick one.
Wow.
And I remember growing up, like
That's an interesting
those kids
pressure.
would say, "What do I put here in this? In this? What am I?" Well, you're both.
Mm.
Why can't you be both?
Yeah. Why can't you be both?
You are both.
Embrace who you are.
Embrace who
Let me
you are. Embrace who you
thank
are.
you. Well, I got one more question, because this is kind of something I've been curious about. Thoughts on Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl?
So I got introduced to Bad Bunny a couple of years back. It was kind of funny. My kids, my
Yeah.
teenager, well, they're not teenagers now; they're older, but they share their music, and I was like, I love the beat. I'm a Gen Xer, so I was like, it's very American Bandstand.
Yeah.
It's got a good beat, and you can dance to
Yeah.
it. But I couldn't understand anything he said, and I do speak Spanish, but I don't speak Puerto Rican
Yeah.
Spanish. That's like to
It's a
me, Puerto
dialect.
Rican Spanish is the equivalent of Creole.
Okay.
It is so distinct, and there's like words and mixture of words,
Got
and
it.
I mean, if and it's so fast.
Got it.
It's so
But you like
fast.
them though.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, I loved it. I
Okay. All
loved it.
right.
It was beautiful. And,
Because a lot of people, they were
you know,
triggered by it, and I said, "Why are you
here's
triggered by it? Get some
oh
thick skin."
oh please. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But it's funny because like here in South Texas, especially San Antonio, is very Hispanic.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of celebrations, a lot of music. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't escape it.
Yeah.
And when I moved from Colorado to San Antonio, I had a culture shock because coming up from Colorado, my parents weren't allowed to speak Spanish in school.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we had that, I hear a lot of black people talking about it, and it wasn't something I really understood that I was doing until much later was the code switching,
Yeah. You
right?
have to. Yeah.
And you have to do it. You have to do it. And so, you know, there were words that I didn't even know the English word for, and I was like, well, I don't know,
Yeah.
and so there's that code switching that goes along. So you learn
Absolutely.
to be two people.
There you go.
You learn to be two
There
people.
you go.
And when I moved to San Antonio, I went into we bought a little house where we were renting a little house. I needed to buy a washing machine. I had my baby, I was young, and the woman came up to me, like I tell you, it's obvious that I'm Hispanic.
Yeah.
She came up to me, she started speaking Spanish to me. Now, I do speak Spanish. I understood every word she said, and I could have responded, but I was so culture shocked that I didn't say a word, and I just
You
basically
ignored
ran
her.
away.
Oh my gosh.
I ignored her because I was like,
Oh my
I
God. You
mean,
shouldn't have
you
did
did
that.
it.
You ignored your
And
roots.
I know I didn't do it, but no, not on purpose because I was ashamed. It was scary to me because in Colorado, when I was growing up, you didn't hear people speaking like in the stores.
Yeah.
It was very segregated at the time when I
Wow.
was growing up in the 70s and
Yeah.
80s. My parents were always
Yeah.
very my parents weren't allowed to rent certain places
Right.
when my brothers were young because they were Hispanic.
Got it. Got it.
Those things they wouldn't say because you're Hispanic. They would say because you have too many kids,
Oh no.
or
Oh
they would
no.
say,
Yeah.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
where they don't really say it, but they're saying it.
Yeah. Well, I
And
hold on. Now,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Now I gotta move it on. All right, but I must say
Okay,
I'm
well,
gonna give
I
you a
I wanted
follow
to be
back.
an actual person who came up.
Yeah, you did a great job, and I look forward, man, honestly, to hearing more from you because you have so much
Well,
insight and so much perspective. Seriously. Uh,
I used to practice immigration law. When
okay.
you said what kind of practice, I used to practice immigration law, and that another time
We'll talk about
if
that because
if you ever have a lull.
I would like to once we can. I want to if there's a conversation about immigration, right? And I could get one
Sure.
of these Latinos for Trump to get up here. I would love to have you explain to them, the nuances behind it. All right, because to me, it's one of the greatest mysteries. How could they be for, you know, basically their own demise? That's how I look at it. All right, because they seem to not understand that no one looking at them could really determine whether or not uh you know
Well,
they
I'll leave you with
yeah.
this. I'll leave you with this. When I worked side and I was fighting immigration, that back then it was called INS,
Yeah, I
and it
okay.
was during the '96 legislation. And let me tell you, Clinton deported a lot of people, rounded up
Yeah.
a lot of people. And so uh, I was friendly with the people who worked at INS.
Yeah.
It's work. They're doing their job.
Right.
We're doing our job. And I was looking at one of these weird forms, their intake forms, and I saw these categories. And one had an M and one had an NM. And I was like, what does that mean? And one had an M, one had an O. And I said, what do these mean? What are these categories? A Latino. And he said to me, Mexican and other than Mexican.
Wow. That's a
Two
deep. Yeah.
categories of people. And I thought, well, what about all the people
That's
from El
how
Salvador and,
it,
all over the world? We were immigrating. The law firm I worked for was immigrating people from every country in the
yeah.
world. How is it possible you have two categories? Because it has racist origins.
Thank you.
It's like we just don't want the Mexicans here,
Wow. Wow. And
which is stupid.
yeah, that's unbelievable. But all right, we're gonna move it on. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
All right. Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Good luck. Love your show. I listen every morning that I can.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, chat, amazing guests. No No lies detected. See, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, yeah, I have conversations. I have conversations with regular people. I primarily am laser focused in on the MAGA demon because that's really what makes me thrill. But it doesn't matter. I don't mind talking to just anybody brave enough to get in the box and simply be honest with the American people. That's all I'm asking. Please be honest. Who moving it along? All right, ladies and gentlemen, who do we got next? Who do we have next, ladies and gentlemen? Disney Mom. Are you there? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Look who's in my guest request, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Look who's in my guest request. Ronald Smith. Ronald Smith.
Dang, man, how do I keep coming up in your box? I didn't request. I don't understand. This is a TikTok glitch. I'm serious. I'm not a MAGA demon. It might seem like it because I keep popping up here, but no.
We got a serious problem, Ronald. Now,
I'm telling you, no, TikTok has a serious problem. I don't know why it's picking on me this morning.
So you're going to blame TikTok?
Yes.
Ronald, I'm going to tell you what. I love you, bro, but I can't have folks on my show lying. Because there's a standing rule. When you lie, you must fry. Now,
oh, come on.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to listen to my better angel. But if this happens again and I don't get a very clear answer about how you ended up in the guest request again, brother, as much as I love you, I got to do it like my mom and dad used to do me. I love you, and that's why I got to do this. So, hopefully you'll learn something, all right? Now, let me guess. You was in the bathroom again, huh?
I was in the bathroom. I was cleaning the toilet.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here, Ronald. No, I didn't send him. No, but Ronald, come on now, brother. Come on. You ain't that much toilet to clean. Ain't that much bathroom to clean, man. Come on. I ain't never seen anything like. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, W's to Ronald Smith in the comment section. I said, wow, you really gonna sit up there and do me like that, Ronald? I'm looking at the guest request. If you pop in here again, I'm gonna just say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, warm up the lake of fire. And Ronald, my hands are tied, bro. My hands are tied. Seriously, y'all gotta quit trying to trick me out there, all right? Moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh, look at the time. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, look at the time. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it, but Big Zeus has crossed his timeline, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. It's John Wells.
Zeus!
Yeah.
You are great.
Oh, really?
Let me just say, Zeus, every day after I listen to Straight Facts, I come straight over here to you.
Yeah.
Because it's a good show.
Thank you.
It's a decent show.
Thank you.
And it's enjoyable.
Thank you.
And all those MAGA demons need to be exercised
Amen.
daily.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Straight Facts is an amazing creator. Amazing.
You have a wonderful day. And I had just found out that a dear friend is gone.
Attacking.
You know
yes.
who I'm talking about.
Brother attacking, yes. And I was going to mention it towards the end, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, our brother attacking has passed. And it's a sad thing, but I'm glad that he's not suffering anymore. And I'm very, very grateful, honestly, because he invested a lot of time with all of us. And it just shows that, we all got to be more appreciative of each other because you never know, right?
Exactly. And as a vet myself, to all my vets out there, you see what's going on. Our oath is calling once again. It's time.
Yep.
You have a wonderful day, Zeus, and keep punching up.
Thank you, John Wells. And I'm going to keep doing exactly as you said. Yes, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, but yes, I want to say thank you to all of you who tuned in today, this morning. It's President's Day. Yes. And if you can do something in kind and in remembrance of our good friend and brother attacking, meant a lot to me. And actually, people don't know this, but he's part of the reason why I've had to be a lot more harsher, especially when I confront Mac. Because generally speaking, I'm relatively a no confrontation type of person, right? But he helped me to understand how important it is, especially when we're tackling very serious issues, to speak with conviction. And so, right is right, wrong is wrong. And what we're dealing with right now, especially, and this is why we've escalated. He said something, it was always funny. He used to tell the people we used to argue with, he said, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. There would never be Zeus. This is what he said. There wouldn't be Zeus because, I knew him as JP the Piano Man, I think. And we met because I used to do lives. I used to be the love guru. A lot of people don't know this, but I used to be the love guru. And I still am. I can look at a situation and I say, okay, you need to love this person and you need to do this love. And so that's how we met. But then we ended up dealing with these Trump voters who just kept spreading lies and misinformation. And it was like, hold on, we're going to set aside the love guru stuff. And we're going to start having real serious conversations with Mac. And he used to always say, Zeus and I, we wouldn't be doing this if you all would simply be honest. And so with that, I realized he's in a way responsible for Big Zeus. Now I did the rest of the work because I'm Triple H, but I did the rest of the work. But that was the line in the sand where we said, you know what? We're going to start taking it to these Trump voters. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Attacking a huge, huge round of applause on this show. He's a Hall of Famer. And anyone who says anything disrespectful about any of our legendary people, our beautiful friend CC, Red, remember Red too? You say anything bad about them, instant block. Don't you dare say it. Don't you dare say it. All right. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to honor Attacking, and try to keep the fight going. All right. And so thank you for bringing that up on the show. I definitely wanted to wrap things up by making that announcement. And I do believe there are mutuals out here who may be doing things, showing love and honoring his legacy as well. And my love goes out to his family, especially his daughter, who has been keeping us all updated on, his transition. And so he's looking over all of us, and let's keep the fight going, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a special thank you to all of you out there who tuned in today, especially the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, because without you, this show would not be possible. Seriously. And there's going to be more changes. We're going to start doing more panel conversations, because I'm still going to do my monologue, but then there's going to be a place where we're going to start bringing up panels once I get all of that straightened out, and then there'll be something else, and then we'll wrap it up, and that way we can keep growing the community and growing the platform. My goal is, as much as I like to be the one sitting in this chair and doing what I do as the Rizzler and being Triple H, the goal is to leverage this in order to help other people do other things and become better at what they want to do, because, the sky is truly the limit, all right? Seriously. So be on the lookout for those changes. But then on a serious note, I got to give one last round of booze and shame. And this goes out to all of you who are what I call Zeus haters. These are some Zeus haters, ladies and gentlemen. I've never seen anyone do what they do. They go all over the internet searching high and low just to find something to get triggered about. Zeus, you lied. What did I lie about? Biden. What about Biden? Well, Zeus, see, that's the problem. And then you heard the guy this morning, D-Man. It's people like you, Zeus. This is what he said. You beat me up. How did I beat you up? I'm in my chair at home on TikTok. How did I beat you up? Well, you made me feel bad because I voted for Donald Trump. Well, look at what you've done to the country. Don't you think that's a bigger issue than your feelings? Oh, I just can't take it, Zeus. Those are the Zeus haters. And I got something for you one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending those demons straight to hell. can't handle me.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. Now, make sure you are following me on my other platforms, and then I'm out of here seriously, okay? We got to get the YouTube going, all right? And many of you know where to find me at on YouTube. If you don't, just type in Zeus Triple H. And the same thing on Instagram. We're going to grow those platforms, ladies and gentlemen, just like we've been growing TikTok, all right? And in the meantime and in between time, we are out of here. Take care, ladies and gentlemen, and have a great rest of your morning, and enjoy the music.
What about body?
You know the song. Later.
What about body?
Saddest song.
What about body? Stole the whole election night.
Remember he stole the election.
Votes dead tonight.
Yeah, that ain't right. Sing it.
What about Biden? Borders wide open and flooded. Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin? What about Biden? Gas prices high, inflation wild. Economy dying, can't feed your child. What about Biden?
Come on, y'all. Sing the song.
13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind.
Remember he opened up those borders?
What about Biden?
And somehow Donald Trump still won.
Yeah. What about Biden?
Amazing you did that, Joe Biden. This is a sad song. We're honoring your legacy, President Biden.
Up in the White House, call him Sleepy Joe, cognitive decline. Everybody knows stumbling words, can't finish a sentence. Puppet on strings, who pulling the leverage?
Hunter's
Hunter's laptop, bullets of deals. China cash flow, million concealed. Family getting pain, influence pedal while we out here struggling, pockets unsettled. Weaponized OJ, FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago storm, but Hunter gets praised. January 6th, locking up brands, but Joe specified docs in his garage, man. Keystone cancel, energy weak. Depending on polls, got $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets, defund the police. Chaos gonna be. Stole the whole election night. Read the votes dead tonight.
Yeah, that ain't right.
What about Biden?
See you tomorrow.
Wide open, let 'em flood it.
Thank you.
Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin? What about Biden? Gas prices high, inflation wild. Economy dying, can't feed your child.
What about Biden?
Afghanistan mess left on behind. 13 soldiers gone.
Joe acting blind. WN. Sing it. Sing it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. What about Biden? Yeah. What about Biden? Yeah.
What about him? Sing this part.
What about him?
What about him? Saddest song, man. 13 soldiers gone and Joe acting blind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a great rest of your morning. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow.